Hey Biz Bestie, you have probably been working really hard towards your goals. Maybe they still feel really far away. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the problem might not be what you think it is. So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you what is the importance of having a business growth mindset and how this one thing can radically change the trajectory of your business and make your goals, first of all, so much more fun. And secondly, so much easier. I have got a lot of mindset stuff that I'm excited to share with you today. And if you stay until the end, I'm also going to tell you how my best year to date sales ever came because I decided to make a conscious effort to focus on my mindset. So it's about to get fun. I'm Amy Walker, and I really have coached a lot of small business owners and entrepreneurs, like hundreds and hundreds of people. And I have found that when we focus on skills alone, it's really hard to create results. And when we focus on activity alone, it's really hard to create results. And when we focus on mindset alone, it's really hard to create results. So what I found is there's a success formula. And it happens when we have mindset plus skill set plus activity. That is it. Like, put that into anything that you're doing. When I was a new entrepreneur, this was my challenge. I didn't come from an entrepreneurial household. Nobody was like reading me Wayne Dyer as a child. And as a result, as a new entrepreneur, I was a broke entrepreneur who worked really, really hard. And I could never quite figure out what it was about me that just couldn't seem to get on the other side. So if you can relate to that at all, then I'm really excited to share this information with you because this is some of the good stuff. This is like the stuff that I tell my girlfriends. Okay, so Biz Bestie, if you have been in that scenario and you can relate to that story, I've got 5 tips for you today that are going to help you be able to set your mindset in the right place and show you why this is such a critical piece of your formula. So tip number 1, scarcity kills growth. It's really easy in your life and in your business to look at the things that you don't have enough of. There's not enough time. There's not enough money. The problem is that when you have scarcity and you think that there's not enough, you make scarce decisions. And scarce decisions do not create abundant results. Are you with me on this? I have watched so many people try to start and grow their business. And I'm telling you, the ones that have scarcity, they never grow. They just kind of like flounder in this space of always putting out work and always putting out effort and never getting to the other side where the reward is. How do you shift out of scarcity? Number 1, this is one where you really do need to be reading positive books, listening to mindset type trainings, working on meditations and visualizations. Like, you're really going to have to fill your mind with abundance. When you start feeling scarce, I do this little tool that I just call like nature talks. And so I go outside and I start counting things in nature. So behind me, there's a bunch of trees. I've started counting them many times. I can't actually tell you how many trees are in the woods behind my house. I don't know. Because once I start counting the trees, there's too many to count. So I start doing that, and it reminds my brain that everything in our universe is abundant. There's more to go around than what we can possibly count, number, or be aware of. And so it resets my brain from thinking of there's not enough to thinking of there's so many. There's so much help, there's so much support, there's so much time, all of those things. It helps me to expand my thinking because, again, if I want to create abundant results, I have to take abundant action. And abundant action starts with abundant thoughts. And speaking of abundance, I would love some abundance of likes on this video, so go ahead and push the like button. All right, my second tip is about learning to hear the opportunities, and this one's gonna be really important because at the end, I'm gonna tell you one question you can ask yourself before you go to bed that will help reframe your entire day and how you do business, but you have to be able to hear the opportunities. So this one's pretty important. All right, hearing the opportunities. When you shift out of scarcity mindset and you shift into abundance mindset, what will happen is you'll start hearing new opportunities. It's going to expand your thinking. I remember years ago being with a client of mine and I said, "Hey, why didn't you pursue those other training opportunities?" And he was like, what training opportunities? And I said, well, that guy was telling you about how his wife worked at the hospital, and that guy was telling you about how he runs a youth program, and your message would have been great for both of them. Why didn't you book them? He didn't hear them. He just didn't hear the opportunities. So that's another reason why your growth mindset is so important, because as you shift it, you're going to start to hear the opportunities that are coming up in conversation all the time. If you want to create ridiculously amazing results, you have to have ridiculously amazing beliefs. And the third reason why you need to have a business growth mindset is because you need to believe that amazing big things are possible. You need to be a dreamer as an entrepreneur. Being a realist as an entrepreneur, I actually don't think works, because you're always seeing like this middle ground, low level, barely above success place, and you're deciding like, that's it, that's what's possible. And as long as I stay there, then everything's going to feel safe. I remember being a really new, really struggling entrepreneur and being in a training. And I was with this girl, and I remember our ages at the time. We were both 27. And she had accomplished millionaire status, and I was nowhere near it. And I remember looking at her, and I was like, okay, we're the same age. She doesn't have children, I do have children. We have been entrepreneurs for, like, I had been an entrepreneur longer. And I was looking at her and I was like, we have similar educational backgrounds. We have similar upbringings. Like, what's the difference? And then she said this, and I realized, oh, that's the difference. She said that she creates a dream for herself, and then she plays this game in her mind where she makes the dream bigger. And she works towards the bigger. And in the process of going for that, she gets a lot accomplished. And that was a game changer for me. I was like, okay, I am shooting for safe and steady and consistent. I'm not shooting for amazing and big and like audacious. That's where the growth happens, because that's where the energy and the excitement and the passion all happens. It doesn't happen in safe, boring, if I get there, cool. If I don't, I guess I'll try it again next month. That's not the growth zone. That is maintenance zone. You need to focus your mindset on where you ultimately want to be. So we've been talking kind of about more mindset. I want to shift now into mindset and sales, because I know the reason you watched this video in the first place is because you want to grow your business. If you want to grow your business, you got to grow your sales. So my next two tips are going to be specifically relating to business growth mindset and sales. We need them. We want them. So here's my first tip. You've got to figure out what you actually believe about sales. If you believe that when you're selling, you're bugging people, you feel guilty, you are uncomfortable, guess what? That's what you bring into the sales conversation, and those are the types of results that you generate. I did an exercise years ago where I took a piece of paper and I like folded it down the middle, hot dog way, that's what my kids call it. And I wrote on one side, across the top I wrote sales are, and on one side I wrote good, and one side I wrote bad. And so on one side, I did the good first. It was like, sales are abundant, sales are fun. And then I started writing sales are bad. And on the bad side, it was like, sales are selfish, sales are greedy. Like, I had so many things on that bad list. That bad list, I'm gonna be honest with you, it was leading the show. And I had to like clean out that list and start changing the script in my subconscious, because I did promise that I would tell you about how I had my best sales year ever by focusing on mindset, and that's actually a really big part of the story. This is our fifth tip, and this is my the next sales tip. It is giving versus taking. Your give and receive cycle has got to be in balance if you want to stay in a growth mindset. So think about this. The last time somebody offered to help you with something, did you say yes or did you say no? I was years ago working on this with a client of mine, and he was really struggling. I was like, your give and receive cycle so out of whack. Like, you give all day long, but you can't ask anything for anyone. So I said, I'm going to give you an assignment and you're going to hate it. Like, this is going to be your least favorite assignment ever. He was like, oh, what is it? And I said, he had horses. I said, I want you to ask to borrow someone's truck to go pick up hay for your horse and do nothing in return. Like, because normally he would ask to borrow people's truck, but then he'd like buy him dinner and wash their truck out and fill it up with gas. Like, he'd do this big, huge thing so that at the end, when he did have to ask for help, he made sure he had overgiven versus what he received. And he hated it. He was so upset with this. Oh my gosh, it was like I was asking him to go murder small children. He was not happy. But he did it, hating every single minute of it. Within a week, he texted me, he's like, oh my gosh, I have to tell you what happened. So we got on a call and he said his brother, who is a very, very wealthy man, called and said, hey, you've been on my mind for a long time, for several months. And he was like, okay, what is it? He's like, I want to pay off all your debt. And for his brother, this wasn't a big deal. His brother was a very wealthy man. But had he not got his give and receive cycle in a good flow, his brother would have called and offered that. He would have said no, because he wasn't willing to receive what the universe was willing to send him. You might be asking, like, how does this apply to sales? It directly applies to sales, because if you are refusing help in other areas of your life, people get the vibe from you that you're not open to receiving. And so they don't buy with you. They don't spend from you. People don't just want to give you money. I have been telling you about my story that I'm going to share with you, and I'm ready to tell the story. I have tried to scale my business up several times before. And every time we would try to scale up, I would end up going back down to that same spot. This year, I did something different. And I said, you know what? I want this journey to be easy, and I want it to flow, and I want it to be more fun, and I want it to be nurturing for me. I hired a mindset coach to go in and help me find out what were the subconscious scripts that were running inside of my mind that were causing me to feel stuck. And guess what? We had our best year of sales ever. We broke the $500,000 mark with ease. We actually crossed the $600,000 mark, which this is our highest year-to-date sales ever. And it was honestly done with ease and with flow, and it was more fun. It's the magic formula for success. And I absolutely cannot wait for you to take this and implement it in your life. Okay, I almost forgot, but I did promise you that I would tell you this. The question that you can ask yourself before you go to bed, that when you wake up in the morning will totally frame your thoughts along a growth mindset. Think of the thing that you want. And then you ask yourself, how can I easily, simply, and naturally get whatever the thing that you want is? And then you just go to sleep. And when you wake up in the morning, you take notice and you listen to the ideas that come into your mind, and then you pursue those ideas. Whether or not they make sense, it's going to help you be in alignment with the flow of inspiration and be able to hear those opportunities that are around you all the time. But now you're just proving to your brain that they're relevant, that you want it, and you're ready to move forward. Now that we've answered what is the importance to having a business growth mindset, the next video that you're going to want to watch is how to be taken seriously as a woman in business. And if you're looking for more business advice that your best friend would give you if they just happen to know a lot about business, go watch some more content. I can't wait to have you back.